It's a warm Sunday afternoon in the West Coast League as the Yakima Valley Pippins and the Walla Walla Sweets get ready for Game 3 of a weekend set before we break for the All-Star Game on Wednesday. Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Harmon Johnsen, your voice of the Yakima Valley Pippins. And it hasn't been the weekend in Walla Walla that Yakima Valley was hoping for, as the Pippins have dropped both games to the Sweets last night in heartbreaking fashion. A 6-5 defeat in extra innings. The Pippins had scored 1 run in the 8th and 1 run in the 9th to take the lead, and then gave up 1 run in the bottom of the 9th to send us to the extra frame. The Pippins would not score either of their ghost runners, and they would leave the bases loaded in the top of the 10th. And Walla Walla ended up walking it off on a sharp ground ball by Trevor T. to the third baseman Derek Almeida, who threw it to second but threw it wide. And an E5 resulted in the game being over, and the Sweets taking a bath out in the swimming pool beyond the center field wall. So tonight we get to a rubber, or not a rubber match, but a salvage type situation for Yakima Valley, who started off the second half extremely hot, 5-1, sweeping the Ridgefield Raptors and winning 4 straight. And so they come in on a 2-game losing streak and are now under 500 on the road at 8-9. Yakima Valley 17-18 overall, and they will try to get back to 500 today going into the All-Star break. Walla Walla, meanwhile, now has the best record in the West Coast League South, as they are 22-16. Walla Walla also with 7 wins in the second half of the season. Who's going to be out there to play for these two sides? Well, let's meet the starting lineups first for the Walla Walla Sweets, who come into this game at 22-16. Peyton Knowles leads it off. He'll play first base and wear number 17. Batting second is the third baseman, number 31, Trevor T. Batting third, the center fielder, number 21, Sam Kane. Cleaning it up is the designated hitter, number 34, Royce Hale. Doing the catching, number 9, Ethan Buckley, back in the lineup after a day off yesterday. Bo Stinson in the lineup again. He is batting 6th and playing right field, wearing number 36. Kyler Bittner is batting 7th. He is playing second base and wearing number 25. Batting 8th is the left fielder, number 4, Gunnar Guile. And batting 9th is the shortstop, number 1, Austin Owens. So again, for the Walla Walla Sweets, Peyton Knowles, Trevor T., Sam Kane, Royce Hale, Ethan Buckley, Bo Stinson, Kyler Bittner, Gunnar Guile, and Austin Owens. Starting pitcher tonight will be Jacob Chandler, and the manager of the Walla Walla Sweets is Leo Rivera in his first season. Now for the Yakima Valley Pippins, Yakima Valley will send up their designated hitter first in the lineup, wearing number 3, Tyson Miller. Batting second, the center fielder, number 15, Luis Garcia. Batting third is the second baseman, number 17, Nick Velasquez. Cleaning it up is the catcher, number 25, Parker Burt. Batting fifth is the right fielder, number 7, Jay O'Neill. Batting sixth is the shortstop, number 22, Alexander Mendoza Jr. Batting seventh is the left fielder, number 40, Malachi Emery Henderson. Batting eighth is the first baseman, number 13, Levi Sotomayor. And batting ninth is the third baseman, number 16, Derek Almeida. So again, for Yakima Valley, Tyson Miller, Luis Garcia, Nick Velasquez, Parker Burt, Jay O'Neill, AJ Mendoza, Malachi Emery Henderson, Levi Sotomayor, and Derek Almeida. Starting pitcher tonight will be Keithan Becerra, making his first start for Yakima Valley after spending the first half of the summer with the Bend Elks. And the manager of the Pippins in his 5th season is Kyle Crustangel. Around the West Coast League today, a lot of games already finished. In fact, as we stand right now, there are only 2 games active, and this one about to get underway. So the final scores from around the league: up in Edmonton, the Marion Berries losing to the Edmonton Riverhawks in 10 innings. It's a walk-off winner for Edmonton, 10-9. Final score in Kamloops, Victoria who will be hosting the All-Star game in a couple of days, gets the victory over the Kamloops North Paws 12-5. Final score in Ridgefield, a shootout between the Raptors and the Pickles. Portland defeats Ridgefield 16-12. And so despite the fact that there were 12 runs on the board for the Raptors, they are now 0-9 in the second half of play. And they have really been struggling since clinching the playoffs at the end of the first half. Nanaimo takes care of Bend 3-1 after a rain-shortened game last night. And also in Bellingham, the Bells win the series over the Port Angeles Lefties with a final score today of 5-2. Top of the sixth inning in Springfield, the Drifters looking to sweep the Corvallis Knights. The Knights currently lead that game 3-2. But it is a close one down there at Hamlin Sports Complex, so we'll see how that result shakes out. The only other game after that, top of the second inning, up in Wenatchee, the Apple Sox lead the Kelowna Falcons 1-0. And then our game about to get started here in just a couple of minutes. All-Star game is taking place on Wednesday. The Home Run Derby will be taking place on Tuesday evening. The All-Star game starting at 7 o'clock on Wednesday up in Victoria. Should be a fun time. The Pippins have 4 All-Stars: Nick Velasquez, Parker Burt, Daichi Furuhata, and Nathaniel Carano. The Sweets will be sending 5 representatives up to Victoria, and they're actually going to begin part of their trip tomorrow, as they will be kind of co-riding up to Victoria with some of the Ridgefield Raptors All-Stars. A little bit awkward after the Raptors swept them about a week ago, or rather they swept the Raptors. I should get my wins and losses correct here. But it's all in the spirit of fun, all in the spirit of a fun atmosphere and the highlight of the West Coast League season. And then once we get done with the All-Star game on Wednesday, it's right back to business if you're Yakima Valley, a non-league game on Thursday against CCL. And then the Portland Pickles come to town. And even though Portland hasn't had the year they've wanted so far, they have been exceptional as of late. They did sweep the Ridgefield Raptors. They've been on a tear recently. And I think Portland's going to be just as hard to beat as anybody that the Pippins have played so far this summer. The last couple of Walla Walla Sweets heading out onto the field before the national anthem. Old Glory flying high in center field. It's a giant American flag. And so we will take a quick break to honor our nation before we get set for Game 3 between the Yakima Valley Pippins and the Walla Walla Sweets. The Singers making their way out to the field right now. Folks rising, removing cover. Do the same with us as we break for the national anthem. We'll be right back. Game 3 here at Borleske Stadium. You don't want to miss it.
Great thing on national anthem.
Welcome back to Borleske Stadium. It is Game 3 between the Walla Walla Sweets and the Yakima Valley Pippins. On the hill will be Jacob Chandler to face Tyson Miller, Luis Garcia, and Nick Velasquez on the season for Chandler. One game he has pitched is all I can find. He went 1 inning, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. So a 0 ERA, a 1 whip, and a 0 batting average. We'll see what Chandler can do here against Yakima Valley's top third in the order. You've got Tyson Miller, Luis Garcia, Nick Velasquez, Parker Burt due up as the first 4. And then Jay O'Neill is back in the lineup after serving a 2-game suspension from some ejections that took place on Thursday night during that extra innings win. Jay was ejected after hitting a 2-run home run. There were some words that were said at home plate between he and the catcher at the time, and ended up the league gave him a 2-game suspension following the ejection. So Jay has not been around the ballpark the first 2 days, took BP today, and is back in the lineup after serving that suspension. Walla Walla wearing their home white uniforms, just like they did on Friday night. They have Sweets and script across the chest with red numerals, but blue lettering. On the backside of the uniform is a dark navy number to go along with white pants, and a red cap, which has the Sweet Lou onion logo smack dab in the middle. The red really standing out against the white, kind of Dodger-esque. Although it is the opposite colors because the red is more of the accent than the blue. The Pippins, meanwhile, going to be wearing their green or their blue uniforms today. Get my colors right here. Blue uniforms, white Pippins in block across the chest with a stick and a green Pippin apple hanging down on the left side. White numerals on the back of the uniforms. Gray pants to go along with blue caps today for Yakima Valley. They saw a lot of success during the homestand and down in Bend during the start of the month with those blue accents, especially the blue caps. And so we'll see how Yakima Valley is able to respond after dropping the first 2 games of this series. Game 1 was a blowout, 18-3. Walla Walla taking that one handily. The Pippins got their final 3 runs, or their only 3 runs, over the final 3 innings. Last night, a much more competitive and a much more exciting game. The Pippins actually had a lead going into the 9th inning, or the bottom of the 9th inning, I should say. And then the Sweets rallied for 1 there, and then scored one of their ghost runners in the 10th. Tyson Miller digs in. Going to be getting started right about on time here in Walla Walla, Washington at this 6:05 scheduled first pitch. Chandler goes from the stretch and a swing and a miss by Tyson right at the top of the zone as we get underway right on schedule, 6:05 p.m. here in Walla Walla. Some cloud cover overhead, temperatures hovering around 80 degrees. Chandler, glove set at the neckline. The 0-1 is flown out of play foul over on the left side. It's quickly 0-2 to Yakima Valley's leadoff hitter. Tyson Miller batting .295 on the summer with a .485 on-base percentage. This is game number 29 for Tyson. No breeze according to our flag out in center field. The 0-2 pitch is fouled straight back into the netting. The count stays alive for Miller. According to the National Weather Service, it is a 3-mile-an-hour breeze coming in from the north-northwest. The balloon animal pops off in the distance as the 0-2 pitch comes home from Chandler. A hanging breaking ball down the right field line. Stinson running. He's not going to get there as it pounds off the base of the wall. Turning around first and heading for second is Tyson Miller. It's a leadoff double to start the game for Yakima Valley. Tyson gave that ball a ride. Bounced right up against the bottom of the banners out in right field underneath the scoreboard. And immediately Yakima Valley has a scoring threat. That's what makes Tyson Miller such a dangerous leadoff man, is his speed. If he got a single, he probably would have stole second in this situation, but he gets to second on the hit. And now Luis Garcia has a chance to make it 1-0 Yakima Valley extremely early on. First pitch, wave and a miss on a fastball at the bottom of the zone to Garcia. Lewis from Western Oklahoma State playing in game number 34 for Yakima Valley, a .328 batting average. He has been hotter than hot over the last week or so. 5 multi-hit games. 0-1. This is a fastball outside, dropped by Buckley, but not far enough away to advance Tyson Miller. 1 ball and 1 strike. Defense behind Jacob Chandler. You've got Gunnar Guile in left. You've got Sam Kane in center, Bo Stinson in right. Trevor T at third, Austin Owens at short, Kyler Bittner at second. 1-1 pitch, a half swing, and a miss by Garcia. It's 1-2. First baseman is Peyton Knowles. The catcher is Ethan Buckley. Very similar lineup to what we saw on Friday night for game 1 of this series. Chandler looking back at second base. Sends home a 1-2 pitch. Garcia shoots it foul over towards the football grandstand on the right side. If you've never been to Borleske Stadium, it's a multi-purpose venue, or it was up until about a year and a half ago. They play football oriented north-south here. The sun sets beyond the first base bleachers on the west, which means left field is due east. Tyson standing at second, and a step off as one disengagement will be used by Chandler. Count still 1-2 here to Garcia. Pippins center fielder. You've got Nick Velasquez, an all-star, waiting on deck. Tyson dancing off second. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Garcia, with his 38 hits, has 11 of them for doubles and 1 of them for a home run. Had he not started the year a tiny bit slow, he would have been a 5th Pippins All-Star. 2-2, breaking ball just a touch outside. The count will run full with Tyson standing out at second. The umpiring crew today, Bryce Reeves is behind the plate. He wears number 34. Taylor Schneider in the field, his partner in the C position currently between second and third, wearing number 75. Lewis waiting. Tyson dancing. Garcia shoots it foul out of play. We'll have another payoff pitch upcoming. You look at Garcia's start to the season, was 0 for 2 in the first 2 games against Walla Walla, then went 2 for 5. And then over his next 10 games, he only picked up 3 hits. That streak was snapped with a 4 for 5 day up in Edmonton during the Saturday contest at Remax Field. Payoff pitch, again shot foul, this time directly behind the press box. It'll be a third payoff pitch upcoming to Garcia. U.S. Highway 12, located directly behind us here at Borleske Stadium. Only about 100 feet away from the back door of the press box. There is a big tall net and then some trees that help shield baseballs from going onto the roadway. Miller started this game off with a leadoff double. And now Garcia trying to bring him around. Payoff. Breaking ball. Ring him up at the top of the zone. Garcia was walking down to first, but now he'll change course and head back to the Pippins first base dugout. Bryce Reeves with a little bit of a late ring up. There's 1 away. So here's Nick Velasquez. Yakima Valley going lefty-righty, then lefty-lefty. Actually, there'll be a slew of 4 straight lefties when we get to the bottom half of the order. First pitch to Velasquez is pounded foul behind the dish, 0-1. Nick getting ready for his appearance up in Victoria from Citrus College and now committed to play at USC. .321 batting average for Velasquez, which includes 1 non-league contest. He's among the West Coast League leaders in extra base hits. 0-1, fouling this one off of his front foot as now he hobbles around using the bat somewhat like a cane over in foul territory on the first base side. This one might have got him more in the knee as he stands on his left foot hopping around and kind of limbering around on the right side. Now he puts his hands on his knees and hunches over as the athletic training staff comes from the Sweets dugout. Now they're checking out more of the ankle area on the right foot, which is the lead foot for Nick Velasquez, a left-handed batter. Parker Burt going over to check on his fellow All-Star. As training staff now running through some range of motion exercises with Nick. His foot is up in the air on her knee, and now he's having him lean back on it. This does not look very comfortable for Velasquez, and he's going to try to do some walking around in foul territory to loosen up his leg, his ankle area on his right foot. The Pippins only have 5 position players on the bench. You would hate to have to make a substitution this early on. Daichi Furuhata is on the bench today, so he could straight switch for Nick Velasquez if he has to. Nick's going to kick out the right foot a little bit more and say he wants to continue. He continues to feel around down on his right leg. I guess this next swing will tell us how comfortable Nick's going to be in the batter's box. He continues to shake out the right leg as he squares himself back up with home plate. One more big kick as he digs into the left-hand batter's box. It's a 0-2 count here to Velasquez. You've got Tyson Miller standing at second after a leadoff double. Chandler looking back there. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Fastball right down the heart of the plate. And Nick is going to make his way back to the dugout as the second out of the inning. I'll bring up Parker Burt, the catcher.
Number 25.
Recently committed to Ball State out of Regis. Parker was among the league leaders in average for about 5 weeks, and then just a short stretch where he went 0 for a couple of back-to-back nights, and he's still batting .352 as the first pitch is a wave and a miss at a pitch inside, 0-1. So by no means is Parker not good in the batting average statistic. He's by far one of the best ones in the West Coast League. It's just after how he started the year, he could be about 50 points higher. He also got hurt for about a week after the Edmonton trip, and that didn't help him, as his 0-1 is sent foul behind us, 0-2. But Parker, a very capable bat. He can get hot at any time. Part of the reason he was hitting so well batting average-wise was, if you look at the start of his year, he had about an 8-game hit streak, and 4 of those games were multi-hit contests. 2 games with 2, 1 with 3, and 1 with 4. 0-2 pitch to Parker is a line shot through the right side of the infield and down into right field for a hit. Stinson picks it up quickly, and Tyson's going to get the stop sign over at third. All right, it's a single for Parker Burt. Runners at the corners for Yakima Valley with 2 away. Parker taking the ball through an extremely big hole over on the right side. So here's the return of Jay O'Neill to the starting lineup for Yakima Valley. Sat for 2 games, the first 2 games of this series. After the ejection on Thursday night, he had a big 2-run bomb to tie the game. Chandler set at the neck area. First pitch, upstairs above the letters of O'Neill. 1 ball and no strikes. For Jay on the summer, this is game number 26. A .352 batting average, but he's got 4 home runs, 2 doubles, or 5 doubles rather, and a triple. 1-0, wave and a miss, an inside changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tyson, the runner at third, he reached on a double. Moving up on that single by Parker Burt. It was so hard hit, so well struck that Stinson picked it up on about 1 bounce. Chandler, the 1-1, wave and a miss, an upstairs changeup. O'Neill going to have to protect here with 2 strikes. This is the start of 4 straight left-handed bats for Yakima Valley. O'Neill, Mendoza, Emery Henderson, Sotomayor. Jay waves the bat behind his head. Here's the 1-2 from Chandler. Fastball upstairs. Buckley going to pump fake. Gets Tyson jumping, but he gets back to third as the throw goes down to T. Stealing second will be Parker Burt. So now 2 in scoring position with a 2-2 count and 2 outs. Buckley almost threw that one in the dirt in front of T. That would have been a disaster. Buckley, a Pippin last year, now playing for the cross-state rival, the Walla Walla Sweets. Jay O'Neill looking for a big knock here in the first inning. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 in scoring position. The pitch, breaking ball high, and the count's going to run full to O'Neill. Jay with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Batting .294. First base is open. You've got A.J. Mendoza waiting on deck. Payoff pitch from Chandler. Wave and a miss. A fastball right past O'Neill. Jacob Chandler strikes out the side, and the Pippins leave 2 in scoring position. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on. After a half inning of play, Yakima Valley 0, Walla Walla coming up. You're listening to Pippins Baseball here at Borleske Stadium. Welcome to Borleske Stadium, bottom of the first inning. Yakima Valley will have Keithan Vaquera up to face Walla Walla's Peyton Knowles, Trevor T., and Sam Kane. On the season for Vaquera, coming from the Bend Elks, he pitched in 5 games, 2 of them starts, 9 innings, 10 strikeouts to 10 walks, 2 hits, 4 earned runs with a 4 ERA. His best outing was by far a 4-inning outing against the Portland Rosebuds, a non-league opponent, going 1 hit, no runs, and 4 strikeouts. Against the Pippins on the 18th of June, he went 3 innings, giving up 1 hit, 1 run on 5 walks and 3 strikeouts. So looking for Vaquera to do some damage against these Walla Walla Sweets. He's got a live arm as a left-hander. He'll be facing Peyton Knowles first. One defensive change I want to note before we get started with the half inning is Vaquera nods his approval to Parker Burt for this lefty-lefty matchup. The first pitch, high and tight, buzzing the tower of Peyton Knowles. Trey Godoy is now in right field, and Jay O'Neill has moved from right field to second base. So Jay was supposed to play the outfield today, but it looks like Nick Velasquez's night will be done as Vaquera misses outside, ball 2 with a breaking ball. 2-0. So Trey Godoy is going to be inserted into the spot of Nick Velasquez. 2-0 from Vaquera, in tight. A live fastball, but not in the zone yet. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Velasquez's night will be done. Hopefully that doesn't hinder his ability to head to Victoria and be a part of the All-Star festivities, as it's ball 4, uncompetitive to Peyton Knowles, a high fastball. Leadoff man aboard for Walla Walla. And so, again, Trey Godoy out in right field. Jay O'Neill at second base. So you insert Godoy into Nick Velasquez's spot. Here's Trevor T., the third baseman. Peyton Knowles drawing his 22nd walk of the summer. Now T, who's batting .275, looking for a first pitch, down and in, ball one. 5 straight have missed to start Keithan Vaquera's outing. You're looking for Keithan to put one over the strike zone here at least to start off as a Pippin. Check to first. Not in time. 1 ball and no strikes. Trevor T. from Colorado Mesa, second season with the Sweets. 1-0. Upstairs with a fastball, 2 balls and no strikes. 6 straight have missed. Keithan Vaquera from Fresno City College, a native of Bakersfield, California. 2-0. Fastball dotted. There's strike 1 for Keithan. So 2-1. First strike of the evening for Vaquera comes on the 7th pitch. Hopefully he'll rattle off 7 straight strikes now. Sometimes all it takes is that first pitch to get locked in. Here's a looping breaking ball upstairs. 3 balls and 1 strike. T shakes out his left arm and now recenters. Steps into the right-hand batter's box. Vaquera standing flush in the middle of the pitching rubber, not choosing a side. 3-1, foul ball out of play, over towards our right. It's 3-2.
Put the water down for you when we.
Vaquera only playing in 5 games with the Elks. They did not keep him for the second half of the season, and so Yakima Valley picked him up. Payoff pitch upcoming here to T. Breaking ball bends in tight, and that got a piece of Trevor T. Couple of free passes to start off the day for Keithan Vaquera. And here comes Sam Kane. Peyton Knowles moves up to second. Trevor T on at first. Sam Kane, the center fielder. Couple of years at Seattle University. A summer with Edmonton, and now in his second summer in the West Coast League, this time with Walla Walla. Breaking ball right on the inner black. It's 0-1. This is game number 32 for Sam Kane as a Sweet. He's got 7 home runs to go along with 10 doubles and a triple. 0-1, right at the top of the zone this time. No balls and 2 strikes. Vaquera looking for that first strikeout as a Pippin. He had 10 of them as a Bend Elk. Knowles at second, T over at first. Breaking ball spiked. This will move both runners up. Wild pitch from Vaquera. 2 men in scoring position. Sam Kane has the opportunity to be an early hero here against Yakima Valley. Pippins had 2 in scoring position in the first inning, did not score. No outs, the 1-2 pitch. This got a piece of Sam Kane, and so the runners will have to stay put. Back-to-back hit batters for Keithan Vaquera, and he's worked himself into a little bit of a pickle here. Ethan Salscheider going to head out and have a chat with his new left-handed arm. Parker Burt joining along. Royce Hale, Ethan Buckley, Bo Stinson due up, barring a triple play. As a quick conversation happens, now Ethan Salscheider sends Parker Burt back to the dish. He wants to have a one-on-one conversation here with Keithan Vaquera. Vaquera has been just a touch wild to start this outing. He's hit 2 batters. He's walked the first man he's seen. Salsa departs. And so we'll see if Keithan can get some success here against Royce Hale. Levi Sotomayor is going to play in on the grass as Vaquera goes out of the full windup. Fastball downstairs, 1 ball and no strikes. Hale, the designated hitter for Walla Walla, also from Seattle University, also played with Edmonton. He had 2 seasons up in the Great White North. 1-0. Here's a hard line drive down for a base hit into right field. Knowles scores easily. The stop sign thrown on for T at third. Now there's going to be a chance at second, but nobody's covering the bag. Jay O'Neill just walks it back to the infield. RBI single for Royce Hale. The bags are still loaded for Walla Walla. And it's 1-0 Sweets. Ethan Buckley, the former Yakima Valley Pippin, batting .278 for Walla Walla. This is game number 16. Has seen time at catcher and first base so far this summer. Buckley most recently at Central Washington. A breaking ball first pitch drops in for a strike to Buck. 0-1. 2 seasons at Lynn Benton Community College, including a championship season with the Roadrunners, and then became the first Division I baseball player from South Africa when he was with Gonzaga in 2025 as he sends a high fly ball out to center field deep enough to score the runs. Garcia settling, he makes the catch. Runners at second and third, now everybody tags. The throw goes into third, and it's a sacrifice fly for Ethan Buckley as everybody's safe. It's 2-0 Walla Walla. There's the first out of the inning, and the first out for Keithan Vaquera in a Pippins uniform. Sometimes all it takes is that first out to get comfortable, especially in a new environment. He has to face Bo Stinson now, and Coach Crustangel walking out towards center field, it looks like. Maybe trying to check on Luis Garcia. The outfielders are coming together. Garcia seems to be saying something as Krusty heads out to center field. It was a high towering throw into third base. Almeida didn't have to move much. We know Lewis has a cannon out there in center field. As now Taylor Schneider joins up with Coach Crustangel to check on the Pippin center fielder. That's the last thing you want to see is another Yakima Valley Pippin leave this game. Nick Velasquez has already left as he fouled one off of his right leg and right ankle area. Jay O'Neill moved into second. Trey Godoy moved out to right field off of the bench. Coach Crustangel checking on his outfielder. Keithan Vaquera walking around the mound after getting that first out. Krusty making his way back into the infield. There is right-handed action up in Yakima Valley's bullpen. Looks like Eric Anthony is throwing. Now Coach Crustangel brings it to a jog as he will make his way off the field ahead of an at-bat here by Bo Stinson. So if things continue to trend like they have been so far, you've got Eric Anthony who could give you some length out of the bullpen. Right now, I think what Yakima Valley wants to see is Keithan Vaquera battle back after getting that first out. 2-0. The first pitch to Bo Stinson drops in for a strike right at the top of the zone, 0-1. Stinson on the season for Walla Walla is hitting at a .214 clip as the 0-1 pitch is a strike right on the dot. Inner black, 0-2. 20 games for Stinson, 2 home runs, 9 hits total, 2 doubles. Infield starting to play in for Yakima Valley with only 1 out. 0-2 pitch from Vaquera is a ground ball over towards short. Mendoza going to backhand. He's going to throw on the run to first. Levi going to apply the tag as he comes into foul territory over at first base. 2 away. A third run comes home to score. Sam Kane was running on contact. Royce Hale moves up to third. There's 2 away on the RBI ground out by Bo Stinson. Great play over at first by Sotomayor to apply the tag and make sure that the Pippins at least got an out on that play. So with 2 away, Kyler Bittner will hit, and for the 3rd straight day, Walla Walla has scored 3 in the first inning. Similar to what Yakima Valley did at home. They scored 3 in the first inning of all 3 games against Ridgefield. That was a recipe for success as the Pippins swept the Raptors. First pitch to Kyler Bittner, a bit high and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Bittner, another former Yakima Valley Pippin, spending most of last summer with the Pipps. 1-0, breaking ball, drops in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Vaquera has certainly seemed to get more comfortable, especially with the breaking ball after those first couple outs. He loops another one in, but it is just a touch upstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike. Jacob Chandler went 25 pitches for the Sweets in the top of the first. He did not give up a run. Now a mile-high Major League pop-up. Keelan Vaquera in the center of the diamond says he wants it, and he has it. And out number 3 is recorded. Both pitchers throw 25 pitches in their respective first innings, but the Sweets strike first as they get 3 runs on only 1 hit. No errors, and 1 man left on base. An inning in the books here at Borleske Stadium. 3-0 Sweets going to the second. Top of the second inning here at Borleske Stadium between the Yakima Valley Pippins and the Walla Walla Sweets. So glad you're with us. I'm Harmon Johnsen, your voice of the Yakima Valley Pippins. Normal start time would be right now if we were in the middle of the week, 6:36 p.m. here in Walla Walla, Washington. We got started at 6:05 though, which means hopefully about a half hour earlier arrival back to Yakima before the Pippins start their all-star break. Off day for everybody tomorrow, and then the All-Stars will head up Tuesday morning to take part in the Tuesday evening activities, the All-Star Home Run Derby, as Alexander Mendoza Jr. takes a first pitch upstairs from Jacob Chandler, 1 ball and no strikes. Mendoza on the season, batting .227 in 5 games with the Pippins. This is game number 6 for him. Has played in every game since he's gotten here last Tuesday as he fixes his batting gloves. I don't know how big the Home Run Derby field is in terms of players. Obviously, the dimensions at Victoria are what they are and what they have been. But as far as number of participants, I don't know if it's 8 like the Major League style or if there's 6 or however many there are. 1-0, upstairs fastball, 2 balls and no strikes. But what I do know is that the Wednesday up in Victoria is jam-packed with activities for the All-Stars. They'll have a luncheon at about 11:30 on Wednesday. 2-0 pitch. Mendoza pops it foul out of play over on the left side, 2-1. And then there's some team pictures. And then I believe the gates open to the stadium up in Victoria at around 3 o'clock. The game's not scheduled for about 6:35 or 7. And so there'll be an all-star scouting combine, similar to what you see at the MLB combine. 2-1, another one out of play on the left side, 2-2. And then a couple of activities for the fans that will be attending. Kevin Pillar will be there, former major leaguer. And then the All-Star game gets underway at around 7 o'clock, I believe, is the expected start time over there on Vancouver Island. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Alexander Mendoza Jr. It's a breaking ball upstairs, and the count runs full. And then it'll be a quick turnaround to hit the hay on Wednesday night and then get up extremely early on in the morning. And the Pippins are going to have to get back to Yakima for a 6:35 p.m. first pitch against the Cascade Collegiate League showcase team. Payoff pitch here to Mendoza is a lace out towards the right center field gap. Nobody's going to get here as Kane and Stenson watch it drop up against the warning track. Mendoza digging around 2. He's thinking 3 all the way. The ball is through the cutoff man, and it rolls around out towards Kyler Bittner out there at second base. Leadoff triple here in the second inning for Alexander Mendoza Jr. and the Pippins have a scoring threat after giving up 3. The definition of a gapper if you're A.J. Mendoza. Bounced once on the grass and then rolled up into the warning track. It's about 373 feet to the right center field gap. Here's Malachi Emery Henderson. First pitch from Chandler is inside, ball 1. Emery Henderson, the third of 4 straight lefties that Jacob Chandler will face in this part of the order. On the season for Yakima Valley, batting .205. 1-0. Check swing foul over on the left side. The count moves to 1-1. Emery Henderson coming off of 2 seasons at Wenatchee Valley College. This most recent season batting .295. 9 home runs to lead the NWAC. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch to Malachi. Half swing, downstairs. Did he go? No, says Taylor Schneider. So the count 2-1. And if you're unfamiliar with the Pacific Northwest, the NWAC Conference is a wood bat spring league. So the numbers you see there might be a little bit down from what you expect from college baseball because they're hitting with wood bats. 2-1, breaking ball upstairs, 3 balls and 1 strike. Kind of a cool experience for those JUCOers. You know, if the numbers are legit, then they should be just fine when they move D1 and use the metal bats. 3-1 pitch to Emery Henderson, wave and a miss. The count runs full. Jacob Chandler has seen quite a few deep counts to start off this game. He's lucky he doesn't have a run to show for it yet. The Pippins trying to score there first after a leadoff triple by A.J. Mendoza. Chandler coming set up near his head. Fires the payoff pitch. It's a fastball called strike 3. Malachi down looking. All 3 strikeouts for Chandler today have been looking strikeouts. 1 away, and Levi Sotomayor, the 4th of 4 straight lefties. Sotomayor from the University of the Pacific, a native of Reno, Nevada. .316 batting average, 18 hits, 2 doubles, and a home run. That includes a couple of non-league games. First pitch breaking ball right at the top of the zone. No balls and 1 strike. Levi on the ground, trying to go the opposite way. His inside the park home run was to left field. He's a left-handed hitter. The pull side is to the right. 0-1, fouled off into the netting, and then it rattles around off of the mesh and into the Sweets dugout over on the third base side. Dugouts are not very deep here at Borleske Stadium. This ballpark plays pretty rectangular because it used to be used for football as well. Chandler has his sign, the 0-2 pitch to Levi Sotomayor. Here it comes. It's a shallow pop on the infield. Owens and Bittner coming together. It's the captain of the infield, Owens, the shortstop, making the catch. And there are 2 away here in the second. It'll be up to Derek Almeida to try to cash in the leadoff triple. Bryce Reeves grabbing out his brush and dusting off home plate. Ethan Buckley was using his hands to excavate around the dish. So the home plate umpire just steps in and says, "Let me do it." Almeida from Citrus College, batting .307 on the summer. First pitch fouled straight back. No balls and 1 strike. Up until about 2 years ago, Borleske Stadium was used for both baseball and football. It was basically a year-round venue until the snow came. Whitman College plays here in the spring. Walla Walla plays here in the summer. And then up until a couple years ago, Walla Walla High School played Friday Night Lights here. 0-1 upstairs with a breaking ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. The Whitman players on Yakima Valley's squad, Torin Eggy and Carmel and Kovash, were telling me they don't play football here anymore because they put turf at Walla Walla High School. So now they play all their games at Wa High. 1-1 upstairs, 2 balls and 1 strike. But walking around on this surface, the grass is extremely well maintained. The playing surface is nice and even, other than the fact that standing out at second base, you can tell where the crown of the football field was. 2-1, Almeida with a high drive out towards center field. Kane settling under it, finding the clouds. It drops in his glove, and the side is retired. A leadoff triple goes unscored as A.J. Mendoza cannot cross the plate. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left, an inning and a half in the books. It's 3-0 Sweets going to the bottom of the second here at Borleske. On-field promotion running long here in the bottom of the second inning. The Walla Walla Sweets will send up Gunnar Guile, Austin Owens in the top of their order after scoring 3 runs on 1 hit in the first inning against Keithan Vaquera. Pippins have had runners in scoring position. They've had men at third in both innings so far, just have not been able to crack the goose egg. Vaquera back out there after he retired the last 3 batters he faced. Sacrifice fly, 6-3 ground out, and a pop-up to him. First pitch, rides inside, a fastball, plunks Gunnar Guile. 3rd hit batter of the night for Keithan Vaquera. Fastball got away from Keithan. Gunnar Guile with a grimace on his face as he walked down to first. Got him right in the back. Here's Austin Owens. Owens from Walnut, California, batting .219 on the summer. The Sweets have not played any non-league games. Breaking ball drops just a touch too far inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Owens playing in game number 33. Standing tall, wasn't even in his crouch ready to swing, but he takes one inside. 2 balls and no strikes. I think Owens was trying to argue that Vaquera pitched before he made eye contact, as here comes a fastball right across the heart of the plate, 2-1. Those are those engagement rules that I think everybody's still getting used to, especially in ballparks that do not have visible pitch clocks. The batter has to make eye contact and engage with the pitcher before the pitcher can come set. Breaking ball inside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Of course, here at Borleske Stadium, there is a pitch clock. It is not used during these Sweets games. 3-1, upstairs, ball 4. Fastball got away from Vaquera. 2 aboard to start off this second inning, and the top of the order due up. The pitch clock is located above the third base dugout as Kyle Crestangel is making his way out of the pen. He is signaled down to the bullpen. He was walking up the line and was obviously having a conversation with Eric Anthony, as Keithan Vaquera's night is going to be done probably quicker than he wanted to. After 31 pitches, Vaquera exits after facing the order once. We go back to the top of the order, and Eric Anthony will be the man to try to limit the damage for the Sweets when we come back.
Number 24.
Bottom of the second inning here at Borleske Stadium. The Pippins have made a pitching change as Eric Anthony will enter the game from the University of Puget Sound. This is game number 9 for Eric's. He has 2 starts as well. 1-1 is his record. 16 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts to 6 walks. His last outing was a start against Ridgefield. He went 6 innings, earning the win. Gave up 6 hits, 1 run. It was earned on 4 strikeouts and no walks. Gunnar Guile and Austin Owens are both aboard. Both of them will be credited to Keithan Vaquera as he exits with a 3-0 deficit. And now Eric Anthony fires his first pitch down and in to Parker Burt. 1 ball and no strikes. Peyton Knowles walked back in the first inning. The first inning went walk, hit by pitch, all 3 of them scored. And then single, sacrifice fly, ground out, and then pop out to the pitcher. Eric sends the 1-0 home. This is below the knees. 2 balls and no strikes. Anthony with starters experience. Couple of starts so far this summer, coming off of his best appearance of the summer period. Trying to carry that momentum over. Here's a 2-0 high towering fly ball down the right field line. Godoy fighting the sun. He makes the catch in fair territory. Runner at second going to tag, and the ball going to be cut off by Mendoza at the second base bag. Gunnar Guile advances on to third on the flyout by Peyton Knowles. One away. Trevor T. will bat with runners at the corners and one out. Eric at the University of Puget Sound went 0-2 in 7 games, starting 3 of them. 10 1/3 innings, 4 strikeouts to 11 walks. He's really flipped that number on its head here during the summer. 11 strikeouts to 6 walks entering this outing. Runner at first takes off. Breaking ball. Throw going to go down to second, and it's past Jay O'Neill and into center field. Scoring will be Guile. Moving up to third is Austin Owens. Guile scores on the E2. Probably a stolen base for Owens, and then the E2 gets him to third. 4-0 Sweets here in the bottom of the second inning. Deep fly ball anywhere will make it 5-0. Trevor T. in a 1-ball, no strike count. Pitch upstairs. Did he go around? No, says Taylor Schneider. 2 balls, no strikes to Trevor T., who was the first of 3 batters that would be hit by a pitch by Keelan Vaquera. Vaquera on the hook for one more batter potentially as it stands at third. Infield playing in. Breaking ball drilled out towards center field. In front of the 412 sign, Garcia backing up. He makes the catch. Tagging at third and coming home to score is Austin Owens, and it's 5-0 Walla Walla. Second time a sacrifice fly has been hit in the direction of Luis Garcia. There are 2 away, and you can close the book on Keelan Vaquera. Gives up all 5 runs so far on the scoreboard. Base is empty, 2 away. Here's Sam Kane. No errors committed behind Vaquera. All 5 runs are earned. I take that back. The error by Parker Burt will make a couple of those unearned. First pitch breaking ball called a strike to Sam Kane. Guile and Owens probably will go down as unearned runs against Keelan Vaquera. 0-1. Breaking ball again, this time too far outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Take a quick look through the box score here as the 1-1 comes in. It's downstairs, 1 ball or 2 balls and 1 strike rather. Live stats being fed to me. Two 1. Here's a fly ball that I lost in the clouds, but it is yanked so far foul that none of the defense seemed to really care. Over on top of the indoor hitting facility and the Edwards Moore Clubhouse down the left field line. 2 balls and 2 strikes here. Eric Anthony trying to get out of the inning. Pitch, breaking ball upstairs. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Final line on Keelan Vaquera is 5 runs, 3 earned. Payoff pitch to Sam Kane. This is just off the plate. Ball 4. Kane draws the walk. Second free pass he has reached on. That'll bring up Royce Hale. Hale singled back in the first inning. That drove in a run. First pitch is a rope down the right field line again. This is fair in front of Trey Godoy. Stopping at second is Sam Kane. First and second, 2 outs for Walla Walla. Almost a carbon copy of what he had back in the first inning, other than the fact that this one doesn't score a run. Ethan Buckley will hit now. I perused through our live scoring again. Now the stats have been changed. All 5 runs right now are earned against Keithan Vaquera. First pitch, a strike to Ethan Buckley over on the outer half of the plate, 0-1. We'll see if those continue to change throughout the rest of the night. It is 2 walks, no strikeouts for Vaquera, pitching an inning plus. Anthony trying to get through this second inning here as he misses away with a breaking ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Buckley hit a sacrifice fly back in the first inning. That brought home Trevor T. Made it 2-0 at the time for Walla Walla. Anthony set. Looks back to second. Now here's a 1-1 off the end of the bat. It's going to die in right field, and coming home to score will be Sam Kane. Throw goes into third. It pulls Almeida away from the bag. Buckley will settle for a single. 6-0 Walla Walla on the RBI single by Ethan Buckley. Dying Quail out into the trouble triangle in right center field. Eric Anthony gives up his first run, credited to him. He allowed both inherited runners to score. Bo Stinson, the 8th man to hit here in the second inning. Runners at the corners. Now a throw goes to first, and Buckley is back in time. Stinson grounded out to Mendoza at short. Throw pulled Sotomayor off the bag, but he applied the tag. That brought home a run. First pitch, high and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Stinson again playing right field today. He had an incredible play out in right field yesterday. 1-0, popped up. Left side, Parker giving chase, but he'll let it fall out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Stinson leapt up like a Superman. Almost tumbled over himself coming back to earth. But he made the catch out there in right field yesterday. 1-1. A stinger down into the left center field gap. Coming home to score is Hale. Moving up to third is Buckley. Stopping at second is Bo Stinson. RBI double. It's 7-0 Walla Walla. Gives Stinson his second RBI of the day. And in similar fashion to Friday night's game, the Pippins pitching staff just can't seem to find an out right now. Kyler Bittner popped up to Keithan Vaquera to end the first inning. He is the 9th man to hit here in the second. This is almost a carbon copy of what happened on Friday night. First pitch to Bittner, high and tight, 1 ball and no strikes. Bittner on the series, 2 for 4 yesterday. He was pinch ran for towards the end of the game. First night, 2 for 5. It's a pretty good start to his Sweets career. 1-0 on the ground over towards first. It hops off of the infield dirt and over Sotomayor and into right field. 2 runs are going to come home to score. Bittner will stop at second, and it is 9-0 Walla Walla. Sotomayor was right in front of the ball, ready to field it, and it kicked off a rock on the infield. This is a very well-maintained infield, but that is the byproduct of the natural surface is you do still have a couple of rocks, and it took a big hop right over Sotomayor's body, and now the Sweets have batted around as Gunnar Guile is up for the second time here in the second inning. Score that a double. By no means was it any error on Sotomayor. First pitch to Guile is a called strike over the heart of the plate. That's just some tough luck right there if you're Levi over at first. 2 RBI for Kyler Bittner, and his homestand here with Walla Walla is going pretty well. 0-1 upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike. 9-0 Walla Walla. They've scored 6 in the inning. Guile is their 10th man to hit. All this action coming with 2 outs. Eric Anthony came in, got the first 2 batters he saw out. Breaking ball, caught the upper edge of the zone. 1-2. Fly out by Knowles that advanced a man to third. Trevor T hit a sacrifice fly that brought home a run. And then walk, single, double, double. Hopefully the trend doesn't continue. I really don't want to see a triple here in the second. 1-2. Just a touch in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Medium-sized crowd here at Borleske Stadium on a Sunday evening. Whiskey Fest still going on down in Pendleton, Oregon. 2-2. Ground ball, foul past first base. We'll do it again. Pippins' bullpen has another arm up and warming as Anthony is approaching the 25th pitch of his outing with only 2 outs to his name right now. Two balls and 2 strikes. Bittner standing at second. Anthony looking that direction. 2-2 pitch home is a pop-up out of play. This is going to land somewhere behind me. Did not hear it thunk off of the woodwork. Must have landed in the vegetation. Thick grove of trees right behind the press box here, separating the road from the ballpark. 2 balls and 2 strikes again. Eric Anthony bringing it home. Breaking ball spun out of his hand. It's now a full count. Left it high and away. Did not quite complete the breaking ball. Gunnar Guile, the 8-hole hitter, batting for the second time here in the second inning. Austin Owens waiting patiently on deck. An hour into the contest, the 3-2 is taken out to deep center field. Garcia spins around. He makes the catch, and the inning is over. Walla Walla scores 6 runs on 4 hits. There was 1 error committed by Yakima Valley, and there was 1 man left on base. After 2 innings of play, it's 9-0 Walla Walla here at Borleske Stadium. We'll be back for the top of the third.
Here tonight, 3 books, 3. Only going to take a 3. 1 for 2 all. We won't get any trading for credit. For information on how to have the best your man of the summer, there's a lot of those resources information or about basic.com. On my head, you understand. I know, you need to get on here. Everybody here.
Yeah.
What's the call of the roller of the mayor and the speaker?
It's at night. Thank you.
Top of the third inning here at Borleske Stadium. The Pippins will send up the top of their order. Tyson Miller, Luis Garcia, and Trey Godoy. Charlie Seneker comes in for the Walla Walla Sweets after Jacob Chandler goes 2 innings facing the Pippins order once. He gave up 3 hits, no runs, left all 3 runners stranded in scoring position, and now the man from William and Mary fires a first pitch in there that's fouled off by Tyson Miller. 44 pitches for Jacob Chandler, and Leo Rivera and Corey Keir electing to get Chandler out of the game after 2 solid innings. Pitch outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. So Seneker comes in making what would be today his 8th appearance. Pitch outside. Buckley threw the toss back off of the bat of Tyson Miller. The count 2 balls and 1 strike. For Chandler tonight, no walks. He had 4 strikeouts. 2-1. Pitch upstairs, 3 balls and 1 strike. Tyson hit a double back in the first inning to lead things off for Yakima Valley. He would be left stranded at third as Garcia and Velasquez struck out. 3-1. That's a strike. It's 3-2. Seneker looking for the 5th strikeout of the night for the Sweet staff. Here's the payoff. Touchdown stairs, and Miller will draw the walk. Tyson aboard for the 2nd time, doing his job as the leadoff hitter. On the season for Seneker, he's 0-3. 2 starts, 7 games total, 14 strikeouts to 5 walks. He's given up 13 earned runs, though, for an .856 clip. It's a little bit odd. Garcia lifts one out towards left center field. Guile going back. He's settling in front of the 350 sign. And he catches it for out number 1. If you can't tell, your broadcaster's ready for the All-Star break. Tongue tripping himself up here. Thankfully, the Sweet staff are very gracious, and they're bringing me a water as we speak. Going to put the straw in right now and take a sip. First pitch to Trey Godoy is fouled off over on the left side. Godoy hitting in the spot of Nick Velasquez, who exited the game after the first half inning of play. Fouled one off of his right ankle. Godoy takes the 0-1 inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. So hopefully Nick's all right. He's slated to play in the All-Star game on Wednesday. You don't want any sort of nagging injury to hamper that. Tyson a short lead at first. Godoy takes this one off the back foot, and he is hobbling his way down to first base. That's twice now that the 3-hole has been hit in the lower half. One was self-inflicted on a foul ball. That one was a hit by pitch thrown by Charlie Seneker. Trey getting some time over at first base to make sure he's all right to run. He says he's good. Pippins have him first and second with 1 out. Big chance here for Parker Burt. Found a hole on the right side back in the first inning. He was left stranded at second after stealing second base. Seneker looking back at second. First pitch to Parker Burt is down and away, ball 1. One ball and no strikes here. Parker watches this one downstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. I'm extremely thankful for the roaming concessions down in front of the home plate club here. Hold up my little sign and say, I need a drink of water. 2-0, roped into the 5-6 hole and into left field for a knock. Tyson gets the stop sign at third. The bases are loaded on the second hit of the ball game by Parker Burt. Miller on to third. Godoy up to second. Jay O'Neill with a huge opportunity to get the Pippins into this game. 9-0 is the Walla Walla Sweets lead here in the top of the third. An hour into the contest, a little bit past that as well. 7:12 p.m. here in Walla Walla, Washington. First pitch to Jay is a changeup taken on the bottom outside corner for strike one. O'Neill struck out to end the first inning, back in the lineup after serving his 2-game suspension following an ejection on Thursday. 0-1, touch inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. The native son of Federal Way, Washington, in his second season in the West Coast League. Spent some time with Port Angeles. Brief teammates with Francisco Lopez with the lefties as well. Now teammates here with the Pipps. 1-1, Jay cranks one out towards right field, but the park will hold it. Stinson makes the catch. Runners at second and third tag, and it's a sacrifice fly for Jay O'Neill as Tyson Miller plates the Pippins' first run of the game. At home, that ball might have had a chance for Jay, but the way that the wind blows here at Borleske Stadium and the depth of right field, 333 to the pole, 375 to the gap, Jay was going to need a little bit more to get it out and hit the grand slam, but it's a very productive out as Godoy moves up to third, Parker still at first, and a run is home. 2 away, though, for A.J. Mendoza. First pitch, a changeup down and away, ball 1. So now it's only an 8-run lead for Walla Walla. The Pippins have plated their first run in the quest to make the 9-run comeback. 1-0, touch in, 2 balls and no strikes. Mendoza tripled back in the second inning. Boy, would the Pippins enjoy that right now. Parker Bird over at first and third situation. 2-0, change up outside. The count, 3 balls and no strikes. A couple of bodies standing up around the Walla Walla bullpen. Seneca set at the letters. 3-0. Taking all the way Mendoza. It is strike 1 after some deliberation by Bryce Reeves. Mendoza was leaning backwards, ready to toss the bat, but he'll dig back in. 3-1. Mendoza, a tapper out towards second. Bittner on to Owens for 1, and that is all they need. Mendoza reaches on fielder's choice, but the Pippins are out of the third. They score 1 on a sacrifice fly by Jay O'Neill, and we go to the bottom of the third, an 8-run game here at Borleske Stadium.
Alright, ready? Okay. Or, touch, number puzzle. Why was first?
For the Pippins. Nothing about it, Paul. Jobs.
Bottom of the third inning here at Borleske Stadium. Another new pitcher into the game for Yakima Valley as Gus Musial comes out of the bullpen to pitch here in the third. On the season for the Pippins, a 1-0 record, 6 games, 8 1/3 innings, 12.96 ERA, 8 strikeouts to 11 walks, 17 hits and 12 earned runs given up by Gus Musial, coming after 2 years at Yakima Valley College. Gus was also at the Pippins for 3 innings in 2025. He'll face 9, 1, and 2 in the Walla Walla order: Austin Owens, Peyton Knowles, and Trevor T. The score is 9-1 in favor of the hometown Sweets here on a Sunday evening. Lights are on. We're still about an hour and a half to 2 hours out from really needing them, but some shadows are across the infield right now as the first pitch is flown out towards right. Diving attempt. It's out of the glove of Emery Henderson. It'll be a leadoff single for Austin Owens. Malachi had a chance, but it popped right out of his glove when he hit the turf. Or I should say, hit the natural grass outfield.
Not ready.
So here's the top of the order, Peyton Knowles. Knowles takes the first pitch down and away from Musial. Ball 1. Gus probably going to be asked to work a couple of innings here tonight as the Pippins are already on their third pitcher. The 1-0, a line drive over to short, caught by Mendoza, throwing a frozen rope back to first, double play. Owens did not freeze, and he pays the price. Score at L6 for Knowles and a 6-3 to put out Owens. Nice play by Yakima Valley's shortstop. That'll help Gus out as well. Keeps the pitch count to a minimum. 3 pitches, 2 outs. Here's Trevor T. First offering in the dirt, ball 1. That's what you're taught when you're growing up playing baseball. Less than 2 outs, you got to freeze on a line drive. Owens did not. Ground ball foul up the third base line. The count 1-1. That's a base running mistake he might hear about down in the dugout later on here in a 8-run contest. Musial has what he wants. 1 ball and 1 strike, set at the letters. The pitch. Right in there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Trevor T today is officially 0 for 0. Hit by pitch, sacrifice fly, run scored, and an RBI. 1-2 pitch from Gus. On the ground, out towards the 5-6 hole. Mendoza backhand, stumbles, throws on the ground. The skip is late. Nice attempt by Mendoza, deep in the hole at short, but it's an infield single for Trevor T. Sam Kane. Hit by pitch and walk tonight. He has scored twice. First pitch misses, ball 1. Set at the belt. Gus, here's a high fly ball down the left field line. If it's fair, it is gone. This ball is foul. The bullpen thought that one was gone, but Sam Kane going to have to wait to pick up his next home run. He had a solo shot out to left center field in the 5th inning yesterday. He's having a laugh with Bryce Reeves about it right now. I don't have the TrackMan in front of me, but that thing was launched. 1-1. Here's a slow tapper on the ground past the third base bag, foul. So the count 1-2. Ends up being just a loud strike 1, followed up by a soft ground ball for strike 2. Usual has what he wants. Trevor T at first. The 1-2 pitch is just a touch up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gus going with the fastball. T with about a 2-step lead. The 2-2 is roped through the hole on the left side for a single. Malachi picks it up on 1 bounce. It'll be back-to-back base hits for Walla Walla with 2 outs. 3 hits total in the inning, and the runners are at first and second. Here's Royce Hale, 2 singles tonight. First pitch, just a touchdown stairs below the knees to Hale. 1 ball and no strikes. RBI single back in the first, and then a single in the second that looked almost the exact same as the RBI single, but there was only 1 man on. So it became first and second after that. Here's a pop-up foul behind the dish, behind us. This one headed for the trees. I hear it rustling. Does not land on the deck behind us. One ball and 1 strike. Hale leaning back in the batter's box, stretching out. The 1-1 pitch home. Touch off. 2 balls and 1 strike, according to Bryce Reeves, our home plate umpire. His counterpart, Taylor Schneider, in the seat position. First and second, the situation. 2-1, foul tipped into the mid of Parker Burt. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and again, Gus looking to get out of this bottom of the 3rd inning without any damage. 9-1 the score. Walla Walla had those 9 in the first 2 frames. First and second with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Down and away, ball 3. And so it's going to be runners on the move. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Payoff pitch on the ground out towards second. O'Neill backhand, loop to first. It is in time to retire Royce Hale. And Gus Musial works a scoreless inning. No runs, 3 hits, no errors, 2 left on. We are through 3 here in Walla Walla. Middle innings are next. 9-1 Sweets here at Borleske Stadium.
We have working with this ball open number and stepping off today by pitching Bill Whiteside. 350.
Top of the 4th inning here at Borleske Stadium. 9-1 Walla Walla. Pippins and Sweets in game 6 of 9 over the summer. Malachi Emery Henderson takes a first pitch strike from Charlie Sineker for An 0-1 count. Pippins wearing their blue tops, gray pants, and blue caps. Walla Walla wearing blue tops as Malachi sends a high fly ball out towards deep right field. Stinson going back. He's at their short porch, and Malachi has left the yard. Solo home run, Malachi Emery Henderson. His third home run of the summer. And as he trots around third, Coach Crustangel gives him a high five. It's 9-2. The Pippins cut into the lead. Good start to the fourth inning for Yakima Valley. Malachi going yard. That'll bring up Levi Sotomayor. First pitch popped up over on the left side. T ranging into foul territory, running out of room on the warning track, makes the catch. One away here in the fourth. I don't have any of the metrics on Malachi's home run, but he hit it hard, he hit it far, and he hit it very loud. Brings up Derek Almeida, fly out to center field back in the second inning. First pitch downstairs to Almeida. 1 ball and no strikes. Seneca had some trouble on the base pads in the third inning. He gave up only 1 run on 1 hit. So now, chance for the Pippins to get a little bit back as the 1-0 is in there for a called strike, 1-1. One down the left field line. Guile ranging towards the line. He makes the catch as he stumbles into foul territory. 2 away. Back to the top of the lineup card. Tyson Miller will hit for the third time. Tyson Miller doubled and walked tonight. He has reached both times. First pitch, a slider right back over the heart of the plate, 0-1. Seneca backdooring one to get it started against Tyson Miller. Another balloon animal pops somewhere off to our left. 0-1, another breaking ball, this one high and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Out of the full windup goes Seneca with nobody on and 2 away, and he misses down and away with a changeup, 2-1. Pippins trailing now by only 7. Still have plenty of time to make a comeback in this game. Tyson half swing, the pitch is high and away, and the count is 3-1. The Sweets do not appeal. Tyson trying to draw his second walk of the night. He scored the last time he drew a walk. Wave and a miss, top of the zone. Follow through got a little bit of Ethan Buckley, and so the count will run full with 2 outs. Seneca nods, winds. Payoff is on the ground out towards second. Bittner gets it on 3 bounces. The throw to first will complete the play. Malachi Emery Henderson hits a loud solo home run to start the fourth inning. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and no men left on base. As we go to the bottom of the fourth, it's Walla Walla 9, Yakima Valley 2 here in Borleske Stadium.
Stay on the line. Put that down. Oh. Take it down, okay? And 3-1. Congratulations.
Oh, man, it's working with people. 20, we want program. You take five, plus. We saw kids. One.
Bottom of the fourth inning here at Borleske Stadium. Ethan Buckley, Bo Stinson, Kyler Bittner due up against Gus Musial, who pitched 17 pitches in the bottom of the third. Third pitcher of the night for Yakima Valley. Musial hung a 0 for the first time as Buckley shoots one in the right center field gap. Godoy going over. He reaches up. He drops it. It's picked up by Garcia, and he will lob it in as Buckley will stand at second. Trey had to run a long way. We'll see if the score gives him the benefit of the doubt. It's either going to be a single and an error or a two-base error. A two-base error it is as it comes in. It's one of the first errors on Godoy defensively. He's been a very good glove. Bo Stinson, 2 RBI tonight. An RBI double back in the second inning as the first pitch he sees is a strike right at the knees, 0-1. Stinson grounded out back in the first inning, and then that double out towards left center field back in the second. Here in the fourth, it's 9-2 Sweets. Half swing, pitches outside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. They appeal. Taylor Schneider says there was no swing. Folks here at Borleske Stadium serenading Stinson with the Bo chant as the breaking ball goes downstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike. Pretty similar to Norway's row that a lot of fans have become accustomed to during the World Cup. Of course, no World Cup games today as we're in the round of 8. High and tight to Stinson, 3 balls and a strike. How cool would it be if France and Argentina met up in the finals like they did in the previous World Cup down in Qatar? 3-1, upstairs, ball 4 to Stinson. Second time he has reached. Runners are going to be at first and second with nobody out. Kyler Bittner with an RBI double, part of this 9-run equation for Walla Walla. Bittner's double was in the second inning. That helped the inning carry over to the 10th batter of that frame. He also popped up to Keelan Vaquera back in the first to end that inning. First pitch, breaking ball, outer half, strike 1. Here at Borleske Stadium, named after Raymond Vincent Borleske, who was a standout in 2 sports at Whitman College. The 0-1 is flown out towards shallow right field. Godoy coming on. Neither runner tags as Godoy makes the catch. 1 away here in the 4th inning. Named after Vincent Borleske, who by some accounts has been called the greatest athlete in Whitman College history. Stood out in both football and baseball and then came back to Whitman as a coach. He had 17 conference championships in football, baseball, basketball. And then my favorite part of the Borleske part of Borleske Stadium is first pitch to Gunnar Guile is deep out to right field. Godoy on the track makes the catch, crashing into the wall. Both runners are going to tag, and both runners will advance without peril. Godoy's been a busy man here in the 4th inning. He catches out number 2, but both runners move up. It's a productive out for Gunnar Guile. That'll bring up Austin Owens. My favorite part of the Borleske part of this stadium's namesake is then after being a coach, he became the mayor of Walla Walla for 2 terms. Borleske was just a all-around guy in the community of Walla Walla. First pitch breaking ball downstairs, ball 1 to Austin Owens. And then long after Borleske's playing days in the 70s and 80s, Borleske Stadium was the home, like many baseball fields in this area, the home of the short season Northwest League, as a 1-0 breaking ball gets in there for strike 1. They hosted the Walla Walla Bears in 1969 and the Walla Walla Padres for 2 years after that. 1-1, a chopper foul past third, 1-2. Walla Walla Islanders in 1972, that was an interesting one because it was the AAA affiliate Hawaii Islanders feeder squad. And then the Walla Walla Padres from 1973 to 1982. 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3, top of the zone. Ring him up for Gus Musial, and the side is retired. We'll talk a little bit more about Borleske Stadium when we get back. Top of the 5th is next. It's 9-2 Sweets over Pippins. Top of the 5th inning here at Borleske Stadium. The Pippins trail by 7, 9-2, but they've scored in back-to-back innings, trying to keep that going here against Charlie Sineker, out for his 3rd inning of work in relief of Jacob Chandler. Luis Garcia, Trey Godoy, and Parker Burt, the 3 due up as Garcia grounds one weakly out towards second. Bittner charges in, waits back, sends the throw across. 1 pitch and 1 out here in the 5th. Here comes Trey Godoy. On the day, 0 for 0. He was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat, coming in after Nick Velasquez fouled one off of his right ankle. Nick would later strike out, but he would not take the field defensively. First pitch to Godoy is flown out towards very shallow left field. Owens going back. Guile coming in. Guile makes the catch. 2 pitches, 2 outs here in the 5th inning. The Pippins do not have anybody warming up in their bullpen, so Gus Musial will be on for the bottom of the 5th. Parker Burt ditching the catcher's gear, waiting for him to emerge. Here he comes out of the dugout. He was still taking off the gear while those 2 outs were made. And so Bryce Reeves holding up play as a courtesy to the man protecting him. Ethan Buckley having a laugh with Bryce Reeves as well. Parker strapping up his batting gloves. And most likely taking this first pitch from Charlie Sineker. Taking all the way, it is strike 1. Reminds me of a situation in the Giants game about a week ago. It was a 2-pitch or 2 outs on 2 pitches type situation. And Robbie Ray had just gotten into the dugout. And so Luis Arraez worked himself into an 0-2 count and then fouled off a few baseballs as Parker swings and misses to make the count 0-2. He wasn't even really trying to hit. He was just more so standing in and giving his pitcher as much time as possible. And then Arraez ended up getting a hit and extending the inning and giving Robbie Ray a chance to catch his breath. 0-2, here's a grounder right to third. T takes it on one hop. The throw across the diamond is made in time, and it's a very quick inning worked by Charlie Seneker. Halfway home here at Borleske Stadium, the Pippins go down quietly. It's 9-2, Walla Walla. Bottom of the fifth here at Borleske Stadium. Let's take a look at some scores from around the West Coast League. Most games are already done today. There are still a few in action, though. Well, I should take that back. There is one other game going on today other than ours. It is Kelowna at Wenatchee, 3-2 Falcons, bottom of the seventh. Everybody else is final. Edmonton beat Marion in 10 innings, 10-9. Up in Edmonton, Victoria beat Kamloops 12-5 in Kamloops. Portland beat Ridgefield 16-12 at the Rourke. Gus Musial starts off his first batter here, the top of the order, Peyton Knowles, with strike one. Bend losing at Nanaimo today, 3-1. They'll head to Portland tomorrow, as there's a ground ball through the right side for a base knock by Peyton Knowles, his first hit of the day. 1 on, nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth. The Elks are going to make up a rained-out doubleheader at Walker Stadium tomorrow before they send their delegation of a couple of players north for the All-Star game in Victoria, where they just were Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this most recent week. Port Angeles losing in Bellingham today 5-2. Corvallis beating Springfield 5-3 as there's a first pitch strike at the knees to Trevor T. Corvallis able to salvage that series. Hard to believe that Corvo was down in the series 2-0 against Springfield of all teams. Springfield, one of the newest members of the West Coast League. Corvallis has been a powerhouse ever since they've been founded. 0-1 downstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike. But that's what makes baseball a fun sport. Anybody can beat anybody on any given day. Right now, Walla Walla has the upper hand against Yakima Valley 9-2. 1-1 pitch, right at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Trevor T does not agree as he steps out and gathers his thoughts. We were talking about the namesake of Borleske Stadium, Vincent Borleske. 1-2, a hit by pitch. T frustrated. That's the second time he's been hit today. He chucks the bat towards his dugout and will take first base. 2 men on, nobody out. That'll bring up Sam Kane. Some notable names that have played here at Borleske Stadium over the course of this ballpark's existence, at least on the baseball side. You have guys like Kurt Russell, who played down in Bend during the first couple years of the Bend Rainbows. As here's a first pitch down in the dirt. Parker Burke going to catch it as it goes to the backstop, but it is a wild pitch to advance both runners into scoring position. Knowles to third, T to second. Nobody out. The Sweets trying to get those 2 runs right back. So Kurt Russell came up to Walla Walla when the team moved from Bend to Walla Walla, and then after his minor league career was done, he'd become an actor. 1-0. Breaking ball downstairs. Did he go around? Yes, he did, says Taylor Schneider. 1 ball and 1 strike. Some other names that you might recognize from your baseball cards. The Wizard Ozzie Smith. 1-1. Skied down the right field line. Godoy chasing it into foul territory. Makes the catch in the Pippins bullpen. The throw is going to go into second. And a run will score on the sacrifice fly by Sam Kane. 10-2, Walla Walla. They're back in front by 8. Moving up to third is Trevor T. Godoy really had no chance to keep the runners at bay. He was so deep into foul territory. Longtime and still current color commentator for the Philadelphia Phillies, John Crook, also played here for a little bit. As here's a deep drive by Royce Hale out to right field. Godoy back at the track, at the wall, leaps, makes the catch, running into the fence. Tagging at third and scoring is Trevor T. But my goodness, between the last 2 innings, Trey Godoy has been one of the most busy defensive players for Yakima Valley. Robs extra bases from Royce Hale. The ball would have bounced right off the top of the fence. Give Trey Godoy the gold glove these last 2 innings, as now Luis Garcia out to check on his right fielder. The Pippins did appeal to the third base bag. Almeida kind of had that look on his face when Bryce Reeves signaled that he did tag up in time, like, were you for sure even watching? Well, certainly a close play, because I don't think T really even noticed that ball was still in the ballpark. First pitch bounces into Buckley. It 1 hops off of the concrete and lands in the walkway right into the awaiting arms of a kid standing next to Casey Hilliard, the assistant GM for the Walla Walla Sweets, formerly of the Yakima Valley Pippins. It was great to catch up with Casey. Came up to me on the first day, gave me a big hug. 1-0 pitch upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Casey was one of those guys that I could always go to. He was the more fun side, not to say that General Manager Jeff Garrettson wasn't fun. We had our fair share of fun. But Casey was always willing to have a catch. Foul ball by Buckley. It's 2-1. We went out on the field a couple times, threw the ball around. It's very good to see Casey again. We'll get to see him here in about a week and a half, 2 weeks, as the next road trip for Yakima Valley after the All-Star break is back here to Borleske. 2-1, skips in, 3 balls and 1 strike. Time called as Parker Burke requests a new baseball. Buckley trying to extend the inning. Both runners that had got on ahead of the 2 outs have scored. Back-to-back sacrifice flies. Musial has what he wants, trying to get through 3 innings of relief. The 3-1 is on the ground foul past Leo Rivera. And the count's going to run full with 2 outs. Maybe the biggest name that I haven't talked about right before we get into this payoff pitch, Tony Gwynn played his first professional minor league season here. That was in 1981, right before the team ceased to exist. Kind of a cool piece of lore here at Borleske Stadium. Payoff pitch. Buckley puts it in play very slowly out towards Mendoza. Grabs, throws in one motion. The scoop by Levi. Nice play by the Pippins infield. 2 runs come home to score. But Trey Godoy has been putting on a Gold Glove-like performance out in right field. 2 runs on only 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. We're through 5 here at Borleske Stadium, 11-2, Walla Walla.
Mark, set, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, run.
And we have a birthday in attendance tonight. Happy 66th birthday to Brian Perry.
Top of the 6th inning here at Borleske Stadium as the middle innings start to wrap up. Jay O'Neill, A.J. Mendoza, Malachi Emery Henderson due up here against Charlie Seneker. First pitch downstairs for ball 1. Seneker had a very quick 5th inning, then got to spend some time in the dugout as his offense got 2 runs. O'Neill sends the 1-0 on the ground, bouncing out towards second. Bittner backing up, throws onto first. He makes the play. Another very quick out for Seneker here in his 4th inning of work. Came in the 3rd inning. Gave up 1 run in that inning, gave up another run in the 4th, and then worked a clean 5th. He's retired the last 7 Yakima Valley Pippins he has faced after the home run by Malachi Emery Henderson. AJ sends one foul back into the netting that protects the wooded area over on the left side, 0-1. So there are 2 tiers of netting here at Borleske Stadium, one protecting the fans and then one protecting the roadway, as here's an 0-1 shot into left center field gap. On the run, Guile makes the catch. He went a long way, covered a lot of ground, and still caught it about waist high. Seneker working on another very quick inning. Pippins swinging early and often here. That worked for Malachi back in the 4th inning, cranking a solo shot over the right field wall. First pitch, breaking ball, Malachi takes for strike 1. The home run for Emery Henderson was home run number 3 on the summer, RBI number 12. Wave and a miss. Look out now 0-2. The power on full display on that blast out towards one of the deeper gaps in the West Coast League. The right field gap is about 375 feet. 0-2. Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's 412 feet to dead center field. The left field high wall is only about 310 feet. 1-2, breaking ball outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The right field foul pole is 333 feet away from home plate. Kind of interesting dimensions here. 1-2, fastball outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. But if you sit here in the press box, or anywhere for that matter, the ballpark is definitely very rectangular, and that's because of the football days of this playing surface. 2-2, sent out a play foul. Walla Walla High School played here, as well as Whitman College before they disbanded their football program in the 1970s. 2-2 again to Malachi. A ground ball foul over on the first base side this time. Count, I believe, is still 2-2. The scoreboard says 3-2. And Walla Walla High School played here up until recently, and one notable name from that era is Drew Bledsoe, Super Bowl champion with the Patriots. Another foul ball out of play. Malachi remains in a 2-strike count. Bledsoe played here with Wall High and then became the first overall draft pick in 1993. Payoff, swing and a miss at a breaking ball. And down in order again goes Yakima Valley. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on. We go to the bottom of the sixth here at Borleske Stadium. 11-2 the score. Bottom of the sixth inning here at Borleske Stadium, and coming into the game is Dawson Barabalt. Dawson pitched 4 innings in a non-league contest for Yakima Valley back on the 2nd of July against the Portland Gherkins. Went 4 innings, giving up no hits or runs. He walked 5, he struck out 5. Barabalt comes from Spokane Falls Community College, just like Luke McGuire. Coming off of a redshirt year, is called strike 1. Sorry if we just had a blip in the connection. I switched to Wi-Fi for a second for some reason. I do have hard-lined internet right into the booth here. Pitch downstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike. So hopefully y'all have me back on either Mixler or YouTube. It's 8 o'clock p.m. here in Walla Walla, Washington. I'm Harmon Johnsen. 11-2 the score as the 1-1 is pulled foul at third base. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hope you've all enjoyed the YouTube streams to go along with our Mixler streams. Hopefully engaging a couple more folks as well. Trying to spread the Pippins road broadcast as far as the home one gets. 1-2, pulled down the left field line. This is high, this is far, this is gone. Bo Stinson hits his 3rd home run of the series. It's his 2nd hit today. It's his 3rd RBI. And it's now 12-2 Walla Walla. Bo Stinson has the Pippins number in this series with the long ball as Barabalt gives up his first run in a Pippins uniform. Here's Kyler Bittner with the bases empty and 1 run home. No doubt about that one off the bat of Bo Stinson. Barabalt going to have to refocus. First pitch strike, I'd say he refocused pretty well. Not shying away from Kyler Bittner, who is 1 for 3 today with a 2 RBI double. Barabalt works out of the stretch. The 0-1, cut on and missed on a pitch down and in. 0-2. Barabalt from Northport, Washington. Nods his approval from Parker Burt. Here's the 0-2 pitch on the ground out towards Almeida. He smothers, he throws, and there is out number 1. 5-3 put out if you're scoring along with us at home. 1 away as Gunnar Guile will dig in. The Pippins and the Sweets playing in game number 74, actually game number 75 all time. The series is tied 37 apiece. First pitch, breaking ball, above the zone and in. 1 ball and no strikes. The Sweets were founded in 2009, began play in 2010. The Pippins, founded in 2013, began play in 2014. 1-0 down and in, 2 balls and no strikes. And these two teams, originally owned and operated by the same group, had 2 different general managers though. 2-0, a tapper back towards the hill. Dawson going to field his position. He bobbles it. It circles around his leg. And safe at first will be Gunnar Guile. Dawson couldn't quite pick the ball up cleanly. He went to barehand it. And Gunnar Guile will reach first as a result. E1 for Barabalt. The 4th pitcher used by Yakima Valley tonight. 1 away. Here's the 9-hole hitter, Austin Owens. First pitch down and in with a fastball. 1-0. Top of the order looming on deck for the 5th time. We're here in the 6th inning. Barabalt looking over towards first. The 1-0 pitch is a high fly ball out to center field, but the park will hold it. Garcia comes in a few steps. He makes the catch. He bobbles it just a touch, but he does in fact make the catch. Had to fight the setting sun peeking through some of the clouds, but the ball never touched the ground. And so it is an F8 for out number 2. Staying at first is Gunnar Guile. And now back to the top of the order, Peyton Knowles. Most of the ballpark is in shadow except for 1 sliver of light in center field. On the ground, right to Sotomayor. He will pick it up, and he will step on the bag. Peyton Knowles is out number 3 here in the 6th inning. Bo Stinson hits a solo jack, and the Walla Walla Sweets lead it 12-2 going to the late innings. Top of the 7th inning here at Borleske Stadium. Pippins trail 12-2, 10-run lead for the Walla Walla Sweets here in Game 6 of 9 over the course of this summer. Charlie Sineker's first pitch is stung out to center field by Levi Sotomayor, and a barrel drops in for a base knock on the first pitch. Levi sees. Sotomayor aboard. That'll bring up Derek Almeida. Sineker about to throw his 52nd pitch. Coming in relief of Jacob Chandler, who went 2 innings. Sineker here in his 5th frame. Short lead for Levi. The first pitch to Almeida is down and away for ball number 1. Almeida today 0 for 2 with a couple of flyouts, 1 to center and 1 to left. Pippins will go home tonight and then rest up tomorrow before sending their 4 All-Stars on to Victoria as the 1-0 pitch is taken into left field on the ground for a base hit, back-to-back knocks for Yakima Valley, and they set up the top of the order. 2 on, nobody out. Here comes Tyson Miller. Miller today has been on twice, a double in the first, a walk in the third, and the first pitch from Sineker gets away from Ethan Buckley. Both runners will move into scoring position. Wild pitch advances Sotomayor and Almeida, and Tyson's got a chance to pick up a couple of RBI here. Set at the letters is Sineker. The 1-0 pitch is a foul ball at the dish. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pippins and Sweets will resume their season series starting the Tuesday after the All-Star break, so a week from this coming Tuesday. 1-1, shot down the left field line, foul. Bounces off of the indoor hitting facility and down into the crowd. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Pippins will host the Portland Pickles the weekend after the All-Star game. Have an off day Monday. Come here. 1-2 pitch, looping breaking ball outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And then after they come to Walla Walla, they'll head back home, take on the Corvallis Knights for the first time this season. Have an off day at home. And then they'll play the Springfield Drifters, 2-2 downstairs. 3 balls and 2 strikes. First base open. They'll play the Springfield Drifters for 3. They'll head down to Corvallis and play 3. And then they'll play the Portland Pickles Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in that first full week of August. And then the regular season will be over. Hard to believe. 3-2, a line drive through the right side and into center field. Sotomayor scores. Almeida stumbles around third. He gets a late stop sign. Tyson Miller's second hit of the game produces a run. It's 12-3 as the Pippins are back on the scoreboard for the first time since the 4th. Tyson's been seeing the ball well tonight. Sotomayor scores his first run. Almeida tripped just a touch, rounding third, so he got a stop sign. And it looks like this will be the end of the night for Charlie Sineker. He hands the ball to Leo Rivera, and a new arm is coming in for the Walla Walla Sweets. The Pippins have a threat with nobody out. Runners at the corners in a 12-3 ball game. New pitcher when we come back here to Borleske Stadium.
You're welcome. Patsy, are you guys gonna want anything else? No, we're ready. So
One Walla Walla Sweets. Basin. Wow.
17. Dot on it. Thank you. You're welcome. Are you good on last call?
New arm into the contest for the Walla Walla Sweets here in the top of the 7th inning. 12-3 the score. The Pippins have a run home after 3 straight hits to open the 7th. Hayden Line comes into the contest. He's pitched in 2 games, 2 1/3 innings, 0 ERA and 1 strikeout. Pitched against the Ridgefield Raptors on July 3rd in the 4-3 win, going an inning and a third, giving up 1 hit. And then against the Springfield Drifters on July 7th, he went 1 inning, giving up 1 hit and striking out 1. Luis Garcia, Trey Godoy, Parker Burt, the 3 scheduled to face him after Charlie Seneker goes 59 pitches in 4+ innings of relief. Garcia stings the first pitch from line into center field for a knock. Derek Almeida scores easily. Moving up to second, Tyson Miller. The Pippins have 4 straight hits to open the 7th.
Yeah. It's literally just
12-4. Yakima Valley continues to cut in. Trey Godoy now with a chance to keep the hit parade moving. 3rd hit of the season allowed by Line, now looking to push across the first run allowed. That's Garcia at first. First pitch to Godoy, high and tight. He backs away. 1 ball, no strikes. Tyson Miller is the responsibility of Charlie Seneker, who to this point has given up all the runs for the Pippins, all 4 of them. First man he faced was Tyson Miller. He came around to score. Now it's Hayden Line in the game. The 1-0 pitch is on the ground over towards first base. Knowles going to spin, go to second. Garcia is out. That's the only out that the Pippins will have. Garcia is going to stay at second as Coach Crustangel is asking for some help. He thought maybe that ball got there late, but Garcia will be out number 1. Coach Crustangel arguing interference or obstruction. Godoy reaches on the fielder's choice. Miller is up to third base with only 1 out. Here's Parker Burt. He's got 2 hits today, both of them singles. Swinging first pitch and going the opposite way to right field. Stinson settling. Tyson tagging. Here's the catch. Here's the throw. Tyson, a close play at the plate, but Tyson is in standing. Sacrifice fly for Parker Burt. Trey Godoy stays at first base, and the Pippins have plated 3 here in the top of the 7th inning. Makes it now 12-5. Tyson has great speed. No doubt that he was going to make an attempt to score, and he scored successfully. Miller has scored twice, being on base 3 times. Jay O'Neill has a sacrifice fly in this game. With 2 outs, he's going to need something more than that, waving and missing at the first pitch upstairs. So you can now close the book on Charlie Seneker. Gives up all 5 runs the Pippins have scored. Line's first potential run is standing at first base in the form of Trey Godoy. Downstairs, Buckley blocks it. 1 ball and 1 strike. 12-5. We've got 2 innings left to play, and if the Pippins pitching staff can hang some zeros, you can continue to cut in. Big innings are always a possibility here in the West Coast League. 1-1, high and away to Jay. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
No.
Here on the final day before the All-Star break, Few Pippins hoping they might be called to be late additions to the All-Star roster. I don't know who they are, but 2-1. Out towards left field. Guile running a long way, chasing it into foul territory. Lays out. This ball is foul. Jay tried to keep it fair, but it tailed off a little bit too far. The count 2-2. If I had to guess, with some of the guys that have backed out of the All-Star game to this point, you're likely going to see either Luke McGuire or John Witt added to the roster if a pitcher does not want to go. Again, I don't know who they are. I don't know even if they're in consideration or if they've been invited as a late addition, but those would be my two first picks. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jay O'Neill. Here's the pitch. It's a rope into right field. This is getting down in front of Stinson. Godoy motors into second. The Pippins have another hit here in the 7th inning. Make that 5. All of them singles. The only Pippin that did not reach base was Parker Burt. He hit a sacrifice fly to be out number 2. Luis Garcia was forced out at second base. So 2 away, and the inning continues for A.J. Mendoza, the 8th hitter. First pitch to Mendoza is outside, ball 1. A few guys playing catch with the football down in the Walla Walla bullpen up the left field line. Nobody throwing as of yet. Look back to second. Line going to deliver the 1-0. High and away, ball 2. Mendoza today is 1 for 3. He tripled back in the 2nd inning. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd inning, but was left stranded and lined out to left field. 12-5 the score here in the top of the 7th. 2-0 pitch to Mendoza. Upstairs, ball 3. If Mendoza could reach, then Emery Henderson, who has a solo home run today, would step in with the bases loaded. Line struggling with the strike zone after giving up 5 hits in the inning. 3-0 pitch. Upstairs, ball 4. The Pippins will send 9 to the plate here in the 7th inning. Malachi Emery Henderson will bat with the bases loaded. Malachi today 1 for 3 with that solo home run. He's also struck out twice. Line's first pitch. Breaking ball fouled into the top of the netting and into the Sweets dugout. No balls and 1 strike. Malachi picked up home run number 3 in the 4th inning. I don't have the metrics, but it was a very well-struck ball. Coming set at the belt is Line. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball downstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike. Levi Sotomayor, the man who started this offensive explosion with a single, is waiting on deck. The Sweets have batted around. Let's see if the Pippins can do so. 1-1, Malachi, a line drive right to Knowles. First baseman didn't even have to move guarding the line. But the Pippins scored 3. They pick up 5 hits in the process. There were no errors, and there were 3 men left on base. Stretch time here at Borleske Stadium, 12-5 the score. Enjoy Take Me Out to the Ball Game. We'll be back.
Don't have to. Right. Let's go, Sweet! Yes, everybody, they could save the last person. Great, the whole place now. Quick training, the last call for alcohol is drinking. Nice direction.
Welcome back to Borleske Stadium here in Walla Walla, Washington. 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Sweets after the stretch. The Pippins scored 3 in the top half of the inning, and Dawson Barabalt going to be tasked with hanging a 0 as the Pippins try to complete a massive comeback. Trevor T., Sam Kane, Royce Hale are the 3 scheduled. Trevor T. so far today is 1 for 1. Sacrifice fly, 2 hit by pitches, and 2 runs scored. He's going to shoot one high out to left field. Malachi crumples to a heap. Mendoza makes the catch, drifting out to left field, and now the immediate attention goes to Malachi Emery Henderson. He found a soft spot in the outfield, and he is down. Almeida and Mendoza and Garcia out checking on their left fielder. It is an out. Call it P6, and 1 out here in the 7th inning. Training staff, Coach Crustangel, and the rest of the Pippins defense is walking out to left field. Malachi with his arms stretched back behind his head as the training staff looks at what appears to be a knee, and you never want to say that. Pippins have already lost Nick Velasquez for this game after fouling a ball off of his right ankle. The entire Pippins defense that was out on the field is out with Malachi. Salsa, Krusty, and the rest of the infield and outfield hanging out with Malachi. Parker Burt, Dawson Barabalt, Levi Sotomayor waiting to help out if needed on the infield dirt. Both umpires out there checking on Malachi as well. He broke towards the shallow pop-up, and then he just crumpled to a heap out in left field, and you never, ever, ever want to see this. Malachi now laying flat on his back as the trainer works out his leg. Coach Crustangel with the lineup card out, and looks like Malachi's night will be done. He's going to have to make a substitution here. The logical substitution would be put Jay O'Neill back in the outfield and bring in Daichi Furuhata to play second base. So we'll see if that is in fact the move, but right now baseball is not on the mind of the Pippins as Malachi slowly gets up and is keeping his right leg a little bit more rigid than his left. He's going to attempt to walk off the field here, and he is up on his own power, but very obviously favoring his right leg. Now he and the training staff and the rest of the Pippins have to make the long walk from left field to the first base dugout. Leo Rivero is out checking on the Pippins outfielder as well. Good show of sportsmanship from the Sweets. Krusty walking with Malachi, and he's trying to feel it out, but he's going to be walking with his brothers behind him back towards this first base dugout. Tyson Miller appears to be coming in to play left field. And so the Pippins are going to lose their designated hitter. That is an option. That's what Coach Crustangel is going with here. 2 innings left to play. He'll likely see a substitution if the pitcher spot comes up. The pitcher spot in this case will be Malachi Emery Henderson coming out of left field. Malachi making his way off the field under his own power. He's about to cross the first base foul line. There's going to be a couple of warm-up pitches granted to Dawson Barabalt, and hopefully everything is all right with Malachi. One warm-up pitch is all Barabalt needs. In left field is Tyson Miller. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning, 12-5. Walla Walla leads it. Malachi Emery Henderson no longer in the contest after crumpling down, planting, and moving towards a pop-up. Swing and a miss. Sam Kane behind in the count 0-1. So Tyson Miller is now in left field. The Pippins will lose their designated hitter, and the pitcher's spot will be due up 9th in the 8th inning. 0-1, right there at the top of the zone. It's 0-2. Pippins do have 4 right-handed bats waiting on the bench if they do want to pinch hit in that scenario. 0-2 pitch, breaking ball, just a touch in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So insert Dawson Barabalt into the 7 hole. 1-2 is roped down the left field line, but this is foul. Tyson getting a chance to stretch his legs out as he had room, but could not make the catch, crashing into the wall. Barabalt still ahead in the count, 1-2. The pitch. Another one lifted foul. This one is well out of play, though. Tyson will not make an attempt on it. We've seen the Pippins do this a couple times, sub out the designated hitter. This one more out of necessity. Emery Henderson no longer in the contest. 1-2 from Barabalt. Wave and a foul ball at the plate. Parker was looking for it. Home plate umpire Bryce Reeves had it. It ricocheted off of the bat and into his shin guard. The count still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sam Kane hitting with 1 out here. There was a pop-up caught by Mendoza. 1-2, shallow fly out towards left. First chance for Miller. Gets inserted defensively, and he makes the catch. The baseball gods have a way of finding you once you are in the game in a new spot. Tyson passes the test, and there's 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So now here's Royce Hale with 2 outs. Barabalt trying to pitch the first 1-2-3 inning for Yakima Valley's defense. First offering upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes to Hale. Royce today, 2 for 3, 2 singles. He's scored a run. He's driven in 2. "1-0, bounces in. That pitch did not go the full 60 feet 6 inches. 2 balls and no strikes. Left-handed stick up. Sotomayor guarding the line at first. Good thing he was, as this one was lifted right into the sweet spot party deck, sitting right up against the fence. 2 balls and a strike. There was Washington State alumni in there last night. Don't know who's down there tonight, but hopefully they were all paying attention. 2 balls and 1 strike. The pitch is a high fly ball out towards right center field. Garcia drifting over there. He will make the catch, and the side is retired. Clean inning pitched by Dawson Barabalt. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on, but it's clouded by the fact that Malachi Emery Henderson is no longer in the contest, leaving with an apparent leg injury. We go to the 8th inning. 8-9-1 due up for Yakima Valley. 12-5 the score here at Borleske Stadium. Top of the 8th inning here at Borleske Stadium. It's 8:32 p.m. here in Walla Walla, Washington. The Pippins have 8, 9, and 1. Levi Sotomayor, Derek Almeida, and Tyson Miller due up. Those three in the 7th inning had 3 straight hits. Single, 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 all of them scored. Still working against Hayden Line. Only threw 16 pitches in that first inning of work as he fires in a first pitch strike to Sotomayor. So Levi now 1 for 3 on the day with the single up the middle. Last licks of sunlight remaining in the sky before we go completely under the light power. 0-1 outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Quick peek to see if the other score from around the West Coast League has gone final. It was a game up in Wenatchee between Wenatchee and Kelowna. Here's an inside-out swing through the left side. Another hit for Levi Sotomayor. That's 2 of them in back-to-back innings. Good start for the Pippins here in the 8th. Exactly the way the 7th started. Maybe the Pips trying to replicate that. Derek Almeida, 1 for 3. Singled in the 7th, came around to score. He and Sotomayor advanced to 2nd and 3rd on wild pitches in the 7th. First pitch breaking ball. There's strike 1. All 3 games here at Borleske Stadium have been relatively quick contests. 0-1, another slider across the plate. 0-2. Game 1 lasted 3 hours and 4 minutes. Game 2, despite going to extra innings, lasted 2 hours and 57 minutes. We started at 6:05. It is now 8:35. 2.5 hours into this game. Derek going to have to protect. The 0-2 upstairs got him. Fastball blown right by. Swinging strikeout for out number 1 here in the 8th. Back to the top of the order with Tyson Miller. Tyson's been hot today. He's 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored and an RBI. Miller doubled in the 1st, singled in the 7th, walked in the 3rd. Those are his 3 times he's been on base. First pitch slider right over the heart of the plate, 0-1. Line now with 1 strikeout to go along with his 1 walk he issued to A.J. Mendoza. Oh-1, shot the opposite way foul over towards the Sweets bullpen. And the count is 0-2. Some more folks throwing down in the Sweets bullpen. Anticipating Lions night will be done when we get to the top of the 9th. Yakima Valley has a man throwing. 0-2 on the ground out towards 2nd. Bittner going to turn, go to 2nd for 1. The relay on to 1st is not in time. Off the bag is Knowles. Tyson aboard for the 4th time tonight. Reaching at 2nd, or reaching at 1st rather. Out at 2nd is Sotomayor. Looked like the throw from Bittner pulled Owens off the bag, but Taylor Schneider says that the toe was dragged right across the pillow. Here's Luis Garcia. 1 for 4, a single and an RBI back in the 7th. First pitch breaking ball at the knees for strike 1. Jacob Chandler for Walla Walla went the first 2 innings, giving up 3 hits but no runs, striking out 4. Charlie Seneker went 4+, giving up all 5 runs for Yakima Valley to this point. Second inning of work here for Line as the 0-1 breaking balls fouled into the netting. It's 0-2. The Sweets in the 8th inning will have 5, 6, and 7 due up. They lead it 12-5. Line looking in. Now he comes set at the letters. Moving down to the belt. 0-2 pitch to Garcia, down and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is game number 9 of the second half, game number 36 overall in this 54-game season. The end is closer than you think. 1-2, blew it by him. Swing and a miss by Luis Garcia. And the side is retired. Tyson left stranded. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Last chance for the Sweets to extend their lead. 12-5 the contest here in Walla Walla.
Score.
New pitcher into the game for the Yakima Valley Pippins. Dan Bradley is set to work this bottom half of the 8th inning in a 12-5 contest. On the season for Yakima Valley, a 4.50 ERA in 5 games. He has pitched 6 innings, 5 strikeouts to 5 walks, 2 hits, and 3 earned runs. Opponents hitting just 100 against Dan Bradley from Western Oklahoma State, a native of Keller, Texas. Big, tall right-hander, 6'7" out there on the hill. He faces Ethan Buckley, Bo Stinson, and Kyler Bittner here in the bottom of the 8th. Sweets looking for a few more runs of insurance. The Pippins hoping that when they get to the top of the 9th, it's still a 12-5 game as Buckley sees one up near the eyes and gets out of the way. 1 ball and no strikes. First pitch breaking ball didn't quite break like Bradley wanted it to. Pippins in danger of falling in 3 straight contests after sweeping the Ridgefield Raptors at home. They had won 4 straight coming into the series this weekend. 1-0 on the ground out towards third. High hop off the grass past Almeida, and it's into left field for a base hit. Ethan Buckley picks up hit number 2 today. He also reached on an error back in the 4th. 1 on, nobody out for Walla Walla. Bo Stinson, always dangerous as he's proven here in this series. He's got 3 home runs. Hit the 3rd in the 6th inning. It was out to left field again. Bradley, first pitch on the way to Stinson, high and tight, ball 1. Barabalt goes 2 innings, giving up 1 hit, 1 run. It was a solo home run by Bo Stinson. First man that Barabalt had faced. 1-0, fastball in tight, 2 balls and no strikes. Bradley's last action for Yakima Valley came back on July 2nd against the Portland Gherkins, going 2 innings scoreless. Struck out 4. 2-0, looping breaking ball, in there for strike 1. Stinson, other than the home run today, has a double in the second where he scored. He has 3 RBI. He also drew a walk back in the 4th inning. 2-1 pitch. Well outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Kyler Bittner waiting on deck. Bradley looking at first before coming set at his belly button. 3 balls and 1 strike. The pitch on the way is a fastball off the plate, ball 4. Back-to-back runners have reached here in the bottom of the 8th. Kyler Bittner will hit with 2 aboard and nobody out. The Pippins in the top half of the 9th inning will have Trey Godoy, Parker Burt, and Jay O'Neill due up. That's 3, 4, and 5 in the order. Bradley looks back to second, and Ethan Buckley. First pitch breaking ball, just a touch upstairs to Bittner. 1 ball and no strikes. Line got some handshakes coming off of the field. And so we'll likely see a new Walla Walla pitcher when we get to the top of the 9th. The 1-0 pitch. Fouled off of the protective gear of someone at home plate. It's 1-1. Couldn't tell if that was Burt or Bryce Reeves. Ethan Buckley standing at second base. Bo Stinson at first. Bradley looking back at second as he comes set at the waistline. 1-1 pitch. On the ground over towards Almeida. He's going to go to second base for 1. Jay O'Neill holds the bag, but that's all he'll get. The throw was over on the first base side of second base. Almeida able to get the middle out. So score it 5-4 on the putout of Bo Stinson. Moving up to third is Ethan Buckley, and reaching on the fielder's choice is Kyler Bittner. O'Neill has spent a lot more of his time in the outfield, and so that throw pulling him off the bag meant that he just put it in his pocket, didn't try to risk the transfer. He is very capable at second base, but it's just not where he's been playing most of this summer. 1 away, still a double play opportunity. Gunnar Guile standing in. First pitch, downstairs. 1 ball and no strikes after the fastball from Bradley. The Sweets order is trying to come up to the top half of the batting lineup for the 6th time, if Guile and Owens can reach. 1-0, wave and a miss. Inside handcuffing Gunnar Guile. 1-1. Sweets trying to get those 3 runs back they gave up in the top of the 7th. Their last run came in the bottom of the 6th. It was that solo home run by Bo Stinson. 1-1. Just a touch down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Under the light power now as cotton candy skies start to disappear with the darkness. The flag in center field hanging limp. It's a gorgeous night in Walla Walla. Long pause. Now the 2-1 pitch from Bradley is a line drive out towards right field. Going to be caught by Godoy. Barely had to move. Tagging at third is Buckley. The throw going to come into the infield. And the Sweets have plated a run for the road going into the All-Star break. 13-5 is the score. Sacrifice line drive, if you want to call it that. Godoy continues to be a busy man out there in right field. Bittner stayed put at first base. And with 2 away, it's Austin Owens. See if Bittner is at all in motion. He is not. First pitch downstairs, 1 ball and no strikes. Parker was about to pump fake down to first, but Bittner was back on the bag. Bradley set with the 1-0. Here it comes. Off of the bat of Austin Owens. It was behind his head. but it hit off the stick for a foul ball. That is why when you are taught to play baseball growing up, whenever the ball is near your head, you bring the bat down. Owens probably lucky that wasn't a dribbler back out towards the hill for out number 3. 1-1 instead of 2-0. Silly mistake by Owens. Breaking ball outside part of the plate. It's 2-1 though, as it's called a ball by Bryce Reeves. Owens today is 1 for 3, single strikeout, flyout, walk. 2 balls and 1 strike. Bittner at first. This one is a breaking ball right into the rib cage of Austin Owens. Didn't need to move the bat for that one. First and second, 2 outs, back to the top of the order for Peyton Knowles. Knowles on the day, 1 for 4. He's scored twice. Peyton Knowles walking up to a song that many folks who have associated with the Portland Pickles are very familiar with, the "Uh-oh, You're in Trouble." Can't remember who walked up to that last year for Portland, but the Pippins heard it quite a bit down at Walker Stadium. First pitch breaking ball, tried to backdoor. Instead, it's ball 1. Left-handed stick against the right-handed hurler, Dan Bradley. Sweets have scored 1 here in the 8th. The 1-0 pitch from Dan is down and away, ball 2. The bullpen has been vacated by Yakima Valley, with the exception of, it looks like, John Witt. 2-0 pitch. High and away, ball 3, and Bradley in danger of walking the bases loaded. Trevor T. waiting on deck. Bradley looking back to second. Kyler Bittner standing there. The 3-0 pitch is hard to the plate fastball. 3 balls and a strike. Bradley trying to battle back here. Only allow the 1 run. The 3-1 pitch. Inside, ball 4. Bases are loaded for Walla Walla here in the bottom of the 8th. Trevor T. getting ready to hit for the 6th time. T in this order has been hit by a pitch, hit a sacrifice fly, singled, been hit by another pitch, and popped out. So officially on the day, 1 for 2. He has scored twice and driven in a run. First pitch from Bradley, a looping breaking ball downstairs and away, ball 1. No place to put Trevor T. Sam Kane waiting on deck. Sweets offense was limited yesterday, but they walked it off against the Pippins. They're en route to a sweep right now. Here's a ground ball over to third. Almeida keeps it on the infield, but he'll just have to pick it up and put it in his pocket as he grabbed it from the seat of his pants. Likely an infield single for Trevor T. would be his 2nd hit of the day, and it's now 14-5 Walla Walla as Bittner crosses the plate. Moving up to third is Austin Owens. Up to second, Peyton Knowles. Trevor T. stands at first. Still waiting for the official scoring on that play. Sam Kane hitting for the 6th time. First pitch breaking ball drops in the bucket for strike 1. They do call it an E5. That's a tough E5 if you're Almeida, but could have been out number 3 had he fielded it cleanly.
I'm up much later than you are.
0-1. This ball bounces away and over towards the Sweets dugout. Another run's going to score as one of the coaching staff members hold on to the ball boy's shirt to keep him from interfering with that baseball. He was about to go pick it up. grabbed him like a cat carrying a kitten. So it's now 15-5. The Sweets have gotten those 3 runs back after a wild pitch from Dan Bradley. Second and third is the situation here in a 1-1 count. Another one skipping in from Dan. This one's knocked down in front of the plate. 2 balls and a strike. So now the runner at third is Peyton Knowles. Trevor T is standing at second after reaching on an error. Royce Hale waiting on deck. He would be the 9th hitter in this 8th inning. Pippins again have 3, 4, and 5 due up here in a 10-run contest. 2-1. Caught the bottom of the strike zone, and the count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kane today, hit by pitch, walk, single, sacrifice fly, fly out. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 in scoring position with 2 outs. 15-5 the score. The pitch from Bradley is a mile-high pop-up on the infield. Almeida and Mendoza fighting against the twilight. Almeida makes the catch, and the inning is over. We go to the top of the 9th inning after the Sweets score 3 runs on only 1 hit. There was 1 error, and there were 2 men left on base. Top of the 9th is next, 15-5 here at Borleske Stadium. (15-5) the score here in the top of the 9th inning. Trey Godoy, Parker Burt, and Jay O'Neill are the 3 scheduled hitters. AJ Mendoza and company hoping to come up to the plate. 10-run contest. Godoy today coming in officially in the 3rd inning. He came in the 1st defensively, but did not get to hit until the 3rd. Hit by pitch, fly out, reaching on a fielder's choice. So he's been on twice today. And he will get it started here in the 9th as the Pippins try to take some positivity into the All-Star break this week. First pitch from the new pitcher, Quade Gonzalez IV, is on the ground out to second. Bittner backs up. He sends it on to first. 1 pitch and 1 out. Line goes 29 pitches. And he works in the 7th and the 8th innings. Brings up Parker Burt. Parker today, 2 for 3, 2 singles, a sacrifice fly. First pitch, he's taking all the way. It's on the outside part of the plate for strike 1. Quade Gonzalez IV from Seattle University on the season with the Sweets. 1 inning, 1 strikeout, 2 walks, 3 hits, 2 earned runs. Wave and a miss by Parker on a pitch downstairs. It's 0-2. So an 18 ERA for him in his 1 inning of work. That 1 inning came against the Springfield Drifters down on the 9th of July. 0-2 pitch from Gonzalez the fourth, high and tight. Parker got out of the way. Couple of inches away from getting a piece of Parker's nose. So the count 1-2. 1 away here at Borleske Stadium. Pippins will be back here at Borleske Stadium, not next week, but the week after, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Breaking ball outside. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. The All-Star festivities begin on Tuesday of this week with the Home Run Derby, then the game on Wednesday. 2-2, high and tight again. The count runs full. Thursday, the Pippins have a non-league game at home against the CCL Showcase team. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they are at home against the Portland Pickles. Monday's an off day, and then they'll be back here in Walla Walla Tuesday through Thursday. Payoff pitch from Gonzalez, in tight, ball 4. Parker Burt dancing out of the way to avoid getting plunked. 1 on, 1 out. Here comes Jay O'Neill. If you weren't with us earlier, I detailed the rest of the season because the way this league works is once you get the All-Star break done and over with, it is an absolute sprint to the finish. Pippins will have 3 league games at home after the All-Star game, an off day Monday, a regular week, 6 games in 6 days, another Monday off day, and then they'll have 9 games in 9 days. First pitch is a strike to Jay O'Neill, right over the heart of the plate, 0-1. The 9 games in 9 days is set up so that the playoffs can begin on a Friday. Everybody skips their final Monday off day, that first Monday of August. 0-1, breaking ball high and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. 9 o'clock here in Walla Walla, Washington. If we can get 2 outs in under 5 minutes, all 3 games will be around 3 hours. Down here at Borleske Stadium. 1-1, wave and a miss by Jay. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So think about it this way. It's a weekend series, 1 normal week and 1 abnormal week, and then the regular season's over. That is hard to believe. Pippins have 2 more road destinations left on their calendar. The 1-2 is inside out, swung on over towards the left side, foul. It's still 1-2. But those 2 destinations that they have not been yet will not happen until the last 2 series of the summer. When August begins, the Pippins will head from home after playing the Springfield Drifters down to Corvallis to play at Goss Stadium, and then they'll head up to Walker Stadium, and then the regular season will come to a close. 1-2, wave and a miss by Jay. A changeup had the kick right as Jay took his swing. 2 away, and the last hope for Yakima Valley is Alexander Mendoza Jr. The Pippins have the pitcher spot due up after AJ, and Abel Ramos has grabbed a bat. He would pinch hit in the situation because they lost their designated hitter, putting Tyson Miller into the game for the injured Malachi Emery Henderson. An apparent leg injury he left with in the 7th inning. First offering to Mendoza is back behind us and over the trees. No balls and 1 strike. I know I'm excited for the All-Star break. I'm part of the delegation going up to Victoria to hang out with our 4 All-Stars. Should be a fun experience. A couple of much-needed days off. Pitch up high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Of course, they won't completely be days off. There'll still be things going on. But at least for me, a couple days off from calling these games for you. I want to make sure I have a voice for the final 20 or so games this summer. 1-1, straight back into the netting. Had it not been there, I would have had a foul ball right through my window. And the Pippins are down to their final strike. AJ Mendoza, who has tripled today and walked, also reached on a fielder's choice, is in a 1-2 count against Quade Gonzalez IV. The 1-2 pitch on the way, outside, ball 2. The crowd that has remained here on a Sunday evening is anticipating that final out. Kids are going to run the bases while we're doing the post-game interview. Hopefully nobody knocks down the camera. 2 balls and 2 strikes to A.J. Mendoza. The pitch, wave, and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Quade Mendoza. The fourth ends the ball game. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left on there in the 9th inning. We wrap up at 9:03 p.m. A total game time here at Borleske Stadium of 2 hours and 58 minutes. The Pippins fall in all 3 games as they are swept by the Walla Walla Sweets. The final score in game number 3, Walla Walla 15, the Yakima Valley 5. The All-Star break is here. The Pippins will have delegates up in Victoria on Wednesday, so make sure you tune in and check in on how our All-Stars are doing Wednesday evening up in Victoria, and then we'll talk to you again on Thursday. Our next broadcast will be against the Cascade Collegiate League Showcase Team, 6:35 p.m. first pitch at Yakima County Stadium on the Pippins YouTube and the WCL Live app. Until that time, my name's Harmon Johnsen. I'm signing off from Walla Walla, saying stay safe, have a wonderful rest of your night, enjoy the All-Star break, and we'll talk to you on Thursday at 6:35 p.m. Final score here at Borleske Stadium. Walla Walla 15, Yakima Valley 5. The Pippins are swept in their first trip to Borleske this summer, and you've been listening to Pippins Baseball. Have a great night, everybody.
Well, quick, we got some. Quick, quick.